smiling. Going deep. Oh, and he's got Thomas. Goodbye. Touchdown. 63 yards, Peyton Manning.
Favre with Levens behind him. 4th and 6 for the 31. Blitz is on. Favre hit as he throws. Pass is going to be incomplete. Denver holds. Denver's going to win it. Oh, baby, they're going to win this thing. Are you kidding me?
Live from Lakewood, Colorado. Broadcasting from the Colorado Media School studios, it's sports with Staxxx and Shaggy.
You can stand up and salute in Denver. You got the world champions that live in your town.
Good evening, Denver, Colorado, Lakewood, adjacent to the big city. How we doing tonight? Shaggy, what's up, man?
What's up, Staxxx? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good tonight on this Tuesday night. Tuesday's almost gone.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to play some of that Leonard Skinner later on. No, I'm doing wonderful, man. I've got some baseball going on in front of me right now. Colorado going against the Athletics. Bottom of the first. Still 0-0 right now, but the Athletics got 2 men on base. Right now, Sensatella kind of digging himself a hole, see if he can get out of it with 1 out, 2-1 pitch count. Shaggy, it has been a wild couple of months, man. I think when we get older, we're gonna be able to tell our grandkids or our grandkids about this stuff. No.
Oh, seriously, man. It's been a while.
Your voice
couple
cracking?
months.
What happened?
I need some water. Break. But it's been a while couple months, man. It's with all these sports and everything. It's finally good to have some stuff back, honestly.
Yeah, man, and especially right here, the Rockies playing their 3rd game. We'll get into that a little bit later on. We have in store for you today a little bit of Miami outbreak going on with the Marlins and that situation and what's going on. A little bit of bubble watch, as we like to do on the back half of the hour in the show. We'll talk about the Rockies and their lineup going into the day, and a couple fun stats to give you later on in the show. But before all that, let's hit it over with some headlines. And we apologize for that. We'll get back to you with that sound. But nonetheless, we're gonna have the sound.
There were some things going on in sports today that will make your brain fall out of your skull. Because I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind.
It's sports.
All around the clock. Sports all the time.
That's the concept of the news.
Oh, that's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
Didn't know what was going on there. It's weird. But nonetheless, going on with the headlines, Miami, and we'll get into this a little bit later on in the show, but the Marlins having four more positive coronavirus tests, which kind of, every other team hasn't had a positive test besides Miami. So I don't think it's a league issue. It's obviously an issue within the club, within that area for sure. But
well, I mean, you think about it. You're in Miami. You get off those games. You got clubs down there that are still open. No one's social distancing.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna touch on that later on in our second segment. But in the other world of sports, the UFC, Khabib versus Justin Gaethje has been confirmed for October 24th. I'm pumped for this. A 28-0 Khabib will be going against the 22-2 University of Northern Colorado. Isn't that where he's fighting out of, or where is he fighting out of? I'm pretty sure they don't say that.
He's fighting out of. He's from UNC.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, not a Colorado native.
Yeah,
but we're gonna rep him as one of our own for sure. 22-2 Justin Gaethje going against 28-0 Khabib. This is a matchup where I think everyone's going to be excited and anticipating. Jake, you're a fighting fan. What's your take on this?
It's going to be very interesting. Justin Gaethje's never been asked to use his wrestling in any fight. And Khabib, we all know, is a really good wrestler. And we really know that he really likes to use his wrestling. So this is going to be a very ultimate test for Gagey and an ultimate test for Khabib. It's going to be Gagey's best wrestler that he's ever fought. I know he's had some great fighters that he's fought before, but Ferguson, he was a jiu-jitsu fighter. You know, I could go down the list, but it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be really good. And it's, again, on October 24th, UFC 254, the fight card.
254, and, you know, I'm actually really excited for this just because not just, you know, anytime someone who, like Khabib, has a streak going on, 28-0, you're always excited because you want to see who's going to be that guy who's going to, you know, end that streak. And Justin Gaethje, a guy who has Colorado ties, has the opportunity to do that at 22-2. And, you know, and I'm just very excited, like everyone else, highly anticipating this fight on October 24th.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. It really is, especially with no UFC this weekend. And then in a couple weeks, we got Cormier versus Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we got some good fights coming up in the next couple weeks.
We got some good fights, man. Not so good news for the New England Patriots. Dante Hightower officially announcing now he'll be the 5th New England Patriot opting out of the upcoming 2020 NFL season, going along with Patrick Chung, Brandon Bolden.
Come on, man.
Oh, man. You had to bring Chris Carter in my ear. Brandon Bolden, Marcus Cannon, and Dan Vitale. How you say it? Vitale? You're a Patriot fan.
Yeah, Dan Vitale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We butcher a lot of names on here.
I did not. I did Marcus Cannon, Brandon Bolden, Dante Hightower, Pat Chung.
I mean, the first 4 were easy names to say.
Dan Vitale. That's like a old school wise guy name right there. Vitale. Hey, Vitale. Hey, yo. No, so 5 Patriots sitting out. Now this is kind of the effect. You know, who is going to be, you know, the guys of the Broncos that will be sitting out. Now we have, you know, in other news for the Broncos, Elijah Wilkinson will be on the PUP list. But who's going to be the guy who, you know, sits out because of the coronavirus? You know, these guys are opting out, obviously, on the Patriots for health and safety concerns for sure. You know, man, it's very nerve-wracking just because the NFL is in the same position as the MLB is, where they're not inside a bubble. You know, teams or players are, nonetheless, they are still traveling, interacting on planes, all that, all the places where you're advised to stay away with in the middle of a pandemic. So, you know, of course you would imagine some players, not, you know, just any kind of players of key note, choosing to sit out.
And it's going to be very interesting. Players like Von Miller have actually showed up, so we can see him
reporting
staying.
Today.
Reporting today. So I could see players that have kids, because a lot of those players that are opting out had family, you know, related issues. They wanted to make sure that families are safe, and I understand that. You know, if you're trying to make sure your kids are safe, you know, you got to respect that.
You're telling me Gronkowski's not sitting out?
Gronk doesn't have Gronk ain't, yeah. Well, Brady ain't sitting out either, so.
Oh. Brady got his kids, though. What if a guy like Brady opts to sit out? How altering would that be? Someone like, you know, Brady, obviously, he's not, I don't think, a top 3 or top 2 quarterback no more, but it's still, you know, I think a face of the league for sure. He's still a storyline in the NFL, why fans watch the league. If Brady, like, you know, someone of Brady's tier decides I'm not going to play because of the coronavirus, what is, you know, the reaction going to be from the league?
It's going to be very interesting, honestly. To be honest, if Brady were to leave, that would diminish me, just like if Luka were to retire, or not Luka were to retire, but if Luka were to opt out, our board guy would be very sad as well.
I wouldn't even put it more of Brady and Luka. I'd say Brady. It would be like if LeBron sat out. You know, you're seasoned guy who he's not. I mean, LeBron, I don't know. He's not in the same boat as Brady, I'd say, because LeBron still is as good as he was. Brady's not as good as what he was. But still, both guys are guys who make you your dollars and your cents through viewership. And if those guys are going to sit out, man, you're stuck in a, you know, you're like lost in translation, man. No, man, coming up, we have some MLB and some NHL talk coming up with the Avs. They'll be playing their scrimmage tomorrow. Then while they're trying to make a Stanley Cup playoff run. Very excited. Very excited. Probably, arguably the Avs right now are probably the best team in, out of all 4 major sports in Colorado. You could probably get them up for debate with the Nuggets out there. But that will be up for our second segment. We'll have a little bit more Rockies talking a little bit more of opening day lineup. And, break down the Rangers series. This is Staxxx and Shaggy on the Be On Air Network, GoMileHigh.com.
Go Mile High, your college radio for sports, movies, and games. Run by students, for students, and more.
Let's see what they can do here from the 5.
Sports news, live games, and discussions about just about everything.
Disney turning their rides in their parks into movies.
So close so many times, and to have that snatched away.
Come and join us every day for your favorite shows, only at GoMileHigh.com.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school, but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember, oh man, I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama. What? The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing. See, the Lama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Lama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Lama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again. But I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org.
Yeah, well, first of all, if I'll speak on my time here, I think that this is the deepest team that we've had here. We fought through, different adversity throughout the course of the year with injuries and key guys being out of our lineup at key times, and we were able to stay consistent and play the right way, regardless of the lineup changes, and find a way to win hockey games, which put us in the race for the division and the conference.
And thank you to Colorado Avalanche YouTube channel for that little take on the head coach. Bednair, I had a little bit of a brain fart right there, but him talking about the Avalanche's chances in the last couple of years and Nate McKinnon's thought on the last couple of years of him being here, and he feel like this is his best team around, and he feel like this is the best chance for the Avalanche to make a run. And in this round-robin tournament, they have a really good chance of pulling off the first seed. First game knocks it off against the St. Louis Blues. So very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. But kick it off to you, Staxxx.
Oh, no, I mean, you got the scrimmage coming up Wednesday. You have Nate McKinnon, who finished as a finalist, top 3 for the Hart Trophy, or essentially the MVP for the NHL. It's gonna be something that's for sure jam-packed, man. And it's gonna be disappointing if the Avs don't make it as far as a conference final. They have the squad. Mikko Rantanen, a rookie who is just been playing so much shit for his age. You have there have been points of the year where the Avs have been undermanned and have still been able to come on top. So I'm very excited for that. Nonetheless, let's get back into some Rockies talk. Before the
playoffs?
Oh, yeah. You don't think so? You don't think the Rockies playoffs?
Playoffs?
They might be. They're 2-1 right now. They have a 500 record. I don't know if you heard. I heard through the grapevine there. They're winning. If they go out there, they have 66 chance of winning the game.
So is that how good the Rockies are, or is that how bad the Rangers are?
Hey, man. I
mean,
could
give both arguments.
It could put both arguments. In the 3 games, the Rockies only gave up 5 runs, or you can also say the Rangers were only able to score 5 runs. So which either context you want to put it in, I would like to, I'm a homer, so I'm going to put in the context that, the Rockies were able to hold them to that 5 runs. Now, if the Rockies are able to do that to elite teams and actual relevant teams, this is a team for sure in the playoffs, to answer Jim Mora's question. Great Jim Mora, man. What's he up to nowadays?
Definitely not coaching. Definitely not taking teams to the playoffs.
No, not at all. No, tonight, playoffs? Though, Antonio Sensatella versus Daniel Megden. Sensatella in 2019, 22 starts, went 11-11. And it had an ERA of 6.71, so he was just shy of 7. And that's, I don't know. It's no better for Daniel Megden, who he did go 5-2 in 2019, but his ERA right under 5. This is really a pitching between 2 starters who's not really the most polished starters in the league. But, it's Sensatella's first start. As a starter in the MLB, you sense to have a finish off well. And
I want to know where's Charles Blackmon. He hasn't been anywhere yet.
Charlie Black? Yeah.
He hasn't played any good minutes in any of these games. I shouldn't say it like that, but he hasn't played any good worth of any good inning.
Batting below 100 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 0 for 1 tonight. We're trying to see right here. We're still we're in the top of the second right now. Who is at the mound? We'll try to get that for you. But right now, the Rockies lineup, who they came into with tonight: David Dahl, Trevor Story, Charlie Blackmon, Nolan Arenado, Daniel Murphy, Ryan McMahon, Ramyo Tapia as designated hitter, with Sam Hilliard and Tony Walters, with Antonio Sensatella finishing up the lineup. I mean, it's a very strategic lineup, if you say the least. A very strategic batting order. You have David Dahl out there who's missed 60+ games last year. Staying on the field was obviously an issue, but when he was able to stay on the field, he's able to show that he's a very productive player. Charlie Blackmon, as you noticed, batting under 100. He's the third man in that batting order, right before Nolan Arenado, which gives you the question, what's giving them, the motive to have Blackmon bat before Nolan?
You think it's just not even experience? It's just, same reason that Mike Malone doesn't want to play MPJ, he doesn't want to play Bull. He just favors these other players, you think?
You want to don't get me started with that. I could talk Nuggets all day, but that will be for the back half of the show.
Just giving you all little
hold
teas.
on, don't let me, I can do it. No, but I think with Nolan right there, it's a strategy thing because now you have your David Dahl, who is shown that he can hit for sure. He can hit out of the park range for sure. But if he, has a stutter, starts off rough, you have your insurance, your get out of the jail card in Nolan Arenado. With Blackmon batting less than 100, though, I think it's a liability having him up there as at the moment. Now, the MLB, as it says in past years, and it is known pretty much every year, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Well, this year it is a sprint, and the Rockies have for sure shown that if the regular season was a sprint every year, the Rockies would have a chance of making the playoffs. And I think that goes in favor for them trying to make the playoffs.
Hey, you heard me yesterday. I said the San Diego Padres have a chance of making the playoffs. I mean,
it's up for grabs,
Gonna get a grin? Come on, Miles. Gonna get a grin, Miles?
And not just that, it's also a 16-team playoff format now. No, not you're not just only playing 60 games. You also are adding 4 more playoff spots. So for the chance to make the playoffs are for sure in the Rockies' favor. A franchise that has only made 5 playoff appearances, 2 of them being in the last 3 years. I'm hyped to see if we can actually make our 6th playoff appearance in the 2020 season and the COVID pandemic.
Get the COVID Cup.
Speaking of the COVID, Miami having its own outbreak. But in light of this, everyone's hearing the terrible news, the negative tone of, and it's bad, whenever a team has 17 players exposed to COVID-19. But in hindsight, out of 6,400 tests conducted by the MLB since July 24th, 29 teams have no new positive tests. So that meaning saying that the Marlins are the only team with new tests in that span. Now, the Miami, they have postponed their games through, today when they were scheduled to play the Baltimore Royals. They were scheduled to start their 3-game series against the Royals today. They'll postpone games from Wednesday to Thursday. They'll also post games against the Washington Nationals from Friday to Sunday. Now, it
raises the question that, like I said yesterday, the Yankees have to play 12 games in 14 days. If they keep postponing these games, did Robert Manfred what he should have done when he made this 60-game schedule? He should have gave a 2 to 3 week leeway at the end of it, saying, "All right, we're gonna have some games that are gonna be makeup games because some of these teams are gonna not be able to play because people are gonna get COVID." Mm-hmm. They should do that. Have some backup, makeup weeks or makeup days, because they're gonna have to have those. I mean, they're gonna have to play these games.
Well, you knew already what the outcome was going to be when playing in the middle of a pandemic and a chaotic time as what it is right now, that you were not going to finish the season the way you liked. You were going to hit bumps in the road, such as, maybe half of, a roster contracting the virus. It's just a stutter step, though, I think. I don't think it's really anything bad right now. I think right now that the MLB is in good hands. Now everyone is exaggerating what is going on. It does sound terrible. As we say, a half a team did get the virus. But then again, that's the only team in the whole league that has contracted it. No one else or no other team has any other player that is positive for COVID-19. The Marlins are not the only team postponing games. The Phillies postponing a couple of their games in the future. Yesterday, when Miami had found out that 13 players had tested positive for the virus, postponing that game. This just brings us back to a local spectrum, and not just really a local, but I say more of a National League wide. We see more players wanting to sit out, opt out. Could now, the World Series title have an asterisk? How do you say it? Asterisk. Asterisk. I say asterisk. Mm-hmm. Asterisk. Asterisk. I don't have the best grammar, man.
Hey, we butcher names up here. We don't have the best grammar. That's right.
I gotta get some water. I gotta get some water in between the break. But before we go, The World Series, just like any other trophy, is going to have an asterisk on it. And then the Super Bowl may have the asterisk on it. The Larry O'Brien trophy may have an asterisk on it. Hell, the U.S. Open might have an asterisk. I don't know. Are they playing the U.S. Open right now? Who knows? No, but you know, in the end, is Rob Manfred, Adam Silver, they didn't restart these seasons with not, expecting any kind of backlash on it or any, chaotic reaction. This is Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy.
Enjoy fishing, hiking, and hunting, all with the comforts of walk-in showers, private balconies overlooking the beautiful Cacharis River and Valley, and breakfast cooked fresh daily by the loving hands of the owner, Galen Smith. If you get hungry in the afternoon or evening, grab a cold one, good company, and grill out on the deck. Or you can come stay at the famous Dog Bar Grill, just a stone's throw from the B&B. Book your room now at CacharisRiverBnB.com. That's CUCHARAS RiverBnB.com. Cacharis River Bed and Breakfast. Tell them Arthur sent you.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org.
It's back. The $12.99 buy one, get one, only at Olive Garden. Try our creamy fettuccine Alfredo, hearty spaghetti with meat sauce, or our melty 5-cheese baked ziti. While you're at it, make sure you take a second entree home. With so many choices, how can you go wrong? And don't forget about our endless salads and warm breadsticks. Order online or find one of our convenient locations near you. Olive Garden. When you're here, your family.
Save up to 75% off on apparel, footwear, fan gear, and more. With free shipping of online orders over $49, you can't beat these deals. DickSportingGoods.com has your fitness set up for the new year. That was online at DickSportingGoods.com. Stop by.
If it's great radio you're looking for, then you're in the right place. Because at GoMileHigh.com, we have tons of shows discussing sports, news, politics, entertainment, community affairs, and much, much more. And don't forget, if you miss out on one of your favorite shows, you can always access our archived episodes at GoMileHigh.com on your own time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
This is The Bubble Watch with Santiago Staxxx Salazar, here on Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy.
7 rebounds for Jokic. Alley-oop, that's too high. Oh, it's not too high!
Jokic said 7 rebounds that night on that little soundbite last night. had 6 boards, I think. 5 boards, 6 assists, 0 points, 6 turnovers. So it was a very unique stat line from the Joker last night in the Denver Nuggets scrimmage against the Magic.
In 3 minutes as well. That was in 3 minutes.
23. Yeah.
Wow, that's bad. That is bad. That's almost as bad as JR's 0 points and 5 rebounds in 18 minutes. Gotta love it.
I mean,
do you think he had a little bit of Henny? Do you think we could have a Joker sighting with him having a little bit of Henny?
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Had a little bit of Henny, but you know what, Joker? If he can find someone who can compliment his game, and I think they might have found that complementary piece.
Yeah. And look, I covered him at Oregon, and they were very, very excited before his early injury. Then he was a top 5 pick, dropped all the way down. The Nuggets won when they got Michael Porter Jr., so they had no problem taking another risk in Bol, and they scored. They scored twice with both players. Great job by the Denver Nuggets organization.
We want to credit Richard Jefferson right there. Was that ESPN The Jump?
Yes, that was the Jump, actually. That was actually a couple hours ago.
That was a couple hours ago. Richard Jefferson spent his last season in Denver. A little bit of familiar with the new Nuggets squad consisting of Jamal and Jokic, Gary Harris. But that was his take on the newest Nugget from last year's draft class, Bol, who has been having the Twitter universe turned all the way up. Man,
he has basically turned Nuggets Twitter on its upside down.
He's turned NBA Twitter, not just the Nuggets Twitter, NBA Twitter, man. And you know, everyone was hyped about him. Everyone's hyped about a young player whose dad played in the league and was a player of note. You know, this was Manute Bol's son. At first, it was just Manute Bol's son. Now it's Bol. Now he's established his own name.
Made his own name.
And he's established his own brand. And each game has just been more exciting, and you don't really know, if, what's he going to show. Now, last game against the Magic only had 10 points, but the way he plays is just so fluid, man.
I could see a situation where they're putting, Bol out there and MPJ out there at the same time at the court, later in the games if they're up or they're down by a lot, just to give them some experience.
They got to be winning by a lot.
Or losing by a lot.
Real down the stretch in the fourth quarter with like only 2 minutes to go, up by 20. That's the only time I could see them actually playing those guys together. But yesterday was the last scrimmage game against the Magic. Nuggets lost 110 to 114. They'll be playing their first game in the official NBA restart and their tournament. I was gonna say the tourney. Their tournament they'll be playing.
It still works.
They'll be playing against the Miami Heat on Saturday, which is going to be a challenge for sure. The Heat consisting of Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and a bunch of gritty players on that squad.
It is. It's going to be very interesting. Miami is like a scrappy team, honestly. They're like the OKC of the East, honestly. They're a very scrappy team.
You see when they brought in Jimmy Butler, a guy who has a very hard-nosed kind of attitude and approach to the game. Bam Adebayo, he's very gritty. They have the skill of man, can't even think of his name right now. Nonetheless, man, they are going to have a very, very competitive brawl with them because the Nuggets, their play style has, I want to say, changed from the fast pace, but Michael Malone has implemented a grit and grind style in Denver themselves with, playing great team basketball. Now, the Nuggets don't necessarily play great individual basketball with guys like Jokic and Jamal. They have to definitely work on their individual defense, individual defensive basketball. But as a team, their defensive team rating was top 5.
Now. The Nuggets are giving up a lot of threes now. They really need to work on their perimeter, covering and their perimeter defense. I mean, like, we know that they have players that are good perimeter defenders in Gary Harris and Torrey Craig, but all around they don't have the greatest
Well,
players.
it's not just being a great perimeter defender, because you could be a great perimeter defender in the zone. But it's if you are a great defender stuck on one-on-one isolation on James Harden and the game's tied, or you're up by 1 and you need to stop here. I don't think the Nuggets have a solidified defender who can actually clamp down and we need to stop right now and lock one of those guys. I don't think we got a LeBron stopper or a Harden stopper. I think we have some great individual lockdown players. Now, of course, you're gonna throw someone that duties one night, your best defender. I would just say, who would you throw on LeBron on this team? I would probably throw Torrey Craig or Jeremy Grant. Who would you throw on James Harden? One of those guys. But
Yeah, I'm throwing Jeremy Grant. I'm throwing Jeremy Grant from the Nuggets.
But it's still Jeremy Grant will get exposed down low because he's not the most. He's still light. He has very athletic. He has bounce to him.
Mhm.
He's very
Got
long.
some energy.
But if you catch him in the post, man, it's on. I think LeBron will bully him in the post. LeBron's not no pushover, man. With 260, 6'8", come on.
He could play linebacker. He could play tight end.
Come on, man. I don't think that's the Nuggets' weaknesses. Defense, not at all. They have a very high defensive team rating for sure. But stuck in that situation down the stretch, 1-on-1, who's guarding James Harden? You'd put Jeremy Grant on Harden? I think Harden crosses him. You wouldn't put Torrey Craig on?
I'm putting Gary Harris probably on him, or Torrey Craig probably on James Harden. I'm not putting, I'm not putting Jeremy Grant on him. I got to put him on there. Torrey Craig or Gary Harris. Got to be one of the two. And it looks like most likely the Nuggets are going to be playing against the Rockets unless they fall down in these seedings.
No, well, we'll see what happens. Speaking of a former Nugget. Oh, go on before you change it.
The Nuggets should be worried after Game 4 and they're not playing up to speed, because some of these games are going to be a lot of pick-me-up games. Learning, basically learning the chemistry again, because you basically just stopped right at March, and it's been 4 months since we played. It's going to be a lot of I feel like it's going to be a lot of learning at first, and not even a lot of learning, but just getting the chemistry back.
Again, the chemistry back is surely what it seems like. Getting some of the rivalries going seems like what's going on, as well as yesterday Yusuf Nurkic, a former Nugget, got in a little scrimmage with Serge Ibaka. Things got a little bit chirpy down there in a game between the Portland Trailblazers and the Toronto Raptors in the bubble. I'm real excited, man, because guys are making friends. We saw on a part of Bubble Watch, we saw on Troy Daniels' feed Donovan Mitchell and Kyle Kuzma and Marcus Smart all linking up on buddy terms, and then we see guys like the big man Nurkic and Ibaka pretty much about to go to blows with each other. And I can just tell you right now, Nurkic does not want any of those problems with Serge Ibaka.
No, he does not. Serge Ibaka has lost a little bit of speed, but the man can still throw a punch.
He still throw hands. Did you see how he manhandled Marquise Chris last year?
Mm-hmm.
Man, he choke slammed him Undertaker style. Come on,
that
man.
Toronto's team, they're an underrated team. They're a very underrated team. They have a lot of good players, and they'll have a lot of players that ain't exactly A-level players besides, Siakam. But outside of that, they have a lot of good role players that play for their team.
This is Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy. We're talking a little bit of NBA here, a little bit of Bubble Watch. You can find us at Amato_is_ballin'. And you can find my partner, my man behind the glass, Shaggy, at Jake_Shadler. Getting back to that, with the Raptors, do you see them other than the Milwaukee Bucks? 'Cause now the Raptors are the reigning champions. Do you see them other than the Milwaukee Bucks as the legitimate contender? They don't have Kawhi Leonard this year. Do you think a Kyle Lowry Raptor team can still find themselves in the Eastern Conference Finals, or find themselves in a situation where they represent the Eastern Conference in the finals?
I'm going to say yes. And the only reason I'm going to say yes is everyone's so high on, Giannis's team. What happens if Giannis isn't performing like he was last year in the playoffs when they got up 2-0 and they boxed him out and they forced him to start shooting threes? What if that starts happening again and the other players can't start making those threes? They have a lot of, 3-point shooters on that team with Eric Bledsoe, Middleton, Lopez. But you know how it is in basketball. You get cold some nights and you get hot some nights. And what if the Toronto Raptors get hot those nights? It's not like they can't shoot as well. It's not like they can't keep up with them. Kawhi left, but it's not like they can't keep up with them.
And staying on track with the NBA, but before we do that, we'll just update with the Rockies game as they scored. We'll get update in the break of who scored that. Rockies up now on the Athletics 1-0. Getting back to the NBA, I think the only thing with Giannis, the only thing that could hold Giannis has nothing to do with Giannis. It's if one of his counterparts, one of his complementary pieces doesn't have a good game, like a Chris Middleton. Last year you saw his numbers in the playoffs, and they were nowhere near his regular season numbers. I think those guys who are surrounded by Giannis need to perform up to par if they want to see a finals appearance. This is Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy.
Your summer just got hotter with the $4.99 unlimited buffet at Pizza Hut. That's right, all of your Pizza Hut favorites for only $4.99. Monday through Friday for lunch, and Tuesday night, dive into limitless pizzas, pastas, salads, breadsticks, and desserts. All hot, fresh, and ready for you when you are. So much good food for so little money makes satisfying that Pizza Hut craving so easy. The $4.99 Pizza Hut never-ending buffet, all at a great price and ready for you today. Make it great at Pizza Hut.
There's a side of aloha with every meal at L&L Hawaiian Barbecue. A unique style of Hawaiian plates with 2 scoops of rice and a creamy macaroni salad. It's delicious for the whole family. Join our ohana or come party with catering and get the goods like recipe books, hats, and gift cards. Come to our 2 convenient locations in Aurora or one in the Springs. Or you can order online at HawaiianBarbecue.com. L&L Hawaiian Barbecue.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
If it's great radio you're looking for, then you're in the right place. Because at GoMileHigh.com, we have tons of shows discussing sports, news, politics, entertainment, community affairs, and much, much more. And don't forget, if you miss out on one of your favorite shows, you can always access our archived episodes at GoMileHigh.com on your own time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
At Chewy's, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Fully loaded nacho car.
Nacho car?
Yeah, that's right. And it's free. You'll get chips, salsa, queso, taco, meat, and more. And don't forget to pair it with one of the signature margaritas. Only at Chewy's. Tex-Mex done right. Must be 21. Find a location near you at chewy's.com. Hurry in. 7 p.m. The trunk closes.
Colorado Media School, hands-on learning in one of the most exciting career fields out there. Internship opportunities are limitless. We have 3 on-campus radio stations, 2 TV stations, and you'll have the opportunity to participate in projects like doing play-by-play live from a sporting event or the 48-hour film project. We have after-graduation career placement assistance and financial aid for those who qualify. Check us out online at coloradomediaschool.com, on Facebook and Instagram, and CO Media School on Twitter and Snapchat. You can also call 303-937-7070.
I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
And we welcome you back here with the Rockies, who are up by 1 We update you back with that score that Trevor Story singled, Blackman also singled, and then Arenado came hitting RBI to where Trevor Story able to bring in the only run so far for the Rockies tonight. This is Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy. We're coming to you live from the Colorado Media Campus. And we're talking a little bit of NFL talk for our fourth segment of the night, fourth segment of the show, and kicking it off. Joey Bosa getting new ink done, coming along with Myles Garrett, another pass rusher. He's inking a 5-year, $135 million. Now, I'm just going to tell you, I think Joey Bosa for sure should have got his before Myles Garrett got his, but that's a different conversation for another time. Joey Bosa.
Only reason that Joey Bosa didn't get it is because Joey Bosa had injury problems early in his career.
Well,
it showed that he could play.
You saw what he did his first game of his career, though, man. He was a wrecking ball running through the defensive line.
Those Bosas can play. Them Bosas can play.
Him and his brother. You know what's crazy? Joey Bosa and Nick Bosa. So I don't know if it's their grandpa or their great-grandpa or their great-great-grandpa or whatever, but along the line is a mobster, man. Who's it? Joe Bonanno. You know who Joe Bonanno is?
I've heard the name, but
it's a mafia thing, man, and it goes way back, man, and it's just crazy to think that those guys are like enforcers, man. They're the size of mafia associate enforcers. Their dad played in the league, Miami.
He did. He did for a while.
Joey Bosa able to ink in. Shout out to Joey Bosa. I don't know if it's a shout out as much because he does play in a AFC West division rival
with the Broncos.
But now you look at that San Diego Charger defense. Now they got Bosa locked in. They got Chris Harris for a couple years there.
Casey Hayward,
Derwin James. He's gonna come back healthy.
Nasir Adderley. They have Nasir Adderley, that safety they drafted last year, that first-round defensive tackle.
The offense is the question. Austin Eckler is gonna do what Austin Eckler did, I think, last year. He's gonna repeat what he did. That 4.5 yards per carry, beast moding it, showing that they didn't need Melvin Gordon. They already had another number one, a hidden gem, another guy with Colorado roots. Shout out Austin Eckler. But there's the question mark comes with the quarterback. You do have a Pro Bowl, All Pro level receiver in Keenan Allen, but you don't have the quarterback you do like you did in Phillip Rivers. You have Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert. Almost forgot his name. And Tyrod Taylor finds himself in the position that he found himself a couple years ago with Cleveland.
He does. He really does. It's going to be a very interesting situation. Honestly, the Chargers, I could see a situation where they start off cold and they put in the rookie quarterback. Bad situation there. Justin Herbert is not NFL ready. But there really is a situation where they start off cold and they're putting in Justin Herbert, just like what happened in 2018 with Baker Mayfield. Again, what's going on with Tyrod Taylor. But it's all been depending on if they start off cold or if they start off hot. It's very depending on that.
And it is going to work with that. But I think with that defense out there, man, what they got, man, I really think that the Chargers can hit the ground running. They can for surely hit the ground running. And I think that defense might carry them throughout the season if they make a playoff appearance. But man, that defense is at least top 5 potential. Maybe the best defense in the league on paper in the secondary for sure.
One player, in my opinion, that is going to surprise everybody is going to be Tim Patrick. And I think that the Broncos, with his size, and he's the same height as Cortland Sutton at 6'4", I think they can do some special things in red zone situations with them, with guys like Noah Fant, maybe even Albert Okwuegbunam. But I do think that the wide receiver position for the Broncos is actually very, very impactful right now. They have a lot of critical depth that I think can really contribute. Now, they're still young, but I do think they can grow into something special, especially with Coach Azani in that wide receiver room.
And that was Cody Rourke, who we'll be having on tomorrow's show. Catch around 8:20 in the second segment, talking a little bit of Broncos. NFL Insider, the host of the Broncos podcast on Locked On. Locked In. Well, we got to be locked in all the time, man. Noah, so transitioning from one AFC West team to another, the Broncos they're still trying to find out their pieces and their roster spots. Who's going to be that slot guy? Who's going to be that number 3, cutting their 90-man roster to an 80-man roster? You heard Cody Rourke's take right there of having Tim Patrick. You've heard on this show before of how high I am on Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick, I think you can find him in a situation with this kind of, offensive or wide receiver rotation. I just think you don't find him in the slot. Now, can Jerry Jeudy play the slot?
I see him in the red zone, honestly. You see him in the, as a, not as really a deep threat, but you see him as a red zone threat. Noah Fant, him.
Yeah.
Cody Rourke was saying that yesterday or today, and then as well as he was saying, I see KJ Hamler going for the deep balls. You really want to manipulate him on a linebacker, or you want to put him on a safety.
KJ Hamler has, unbelievable speed, and I want to see him in the special teams department before anything. That's where a lot of rookies do, flourish in their rookie years, is the special teams. And KJ Hamler, who was arguably, behind Henry Ruggs, the fastest wide receiver in college football.
Oh, easily one of the fastest rookies. Him and Henry Ruggs were the fastest coming out. It's crazy. AFC West has some great receivers. AFC West has some great offense, some great defense. AFC West could possibly be a top 3 division next year, or if not a top 2 division. It's both of the West Coast divisions, honestly, with the NFC West and the AFC West. Both of these divisions are the best divisions, the cream of the crop almost.
Now, the Broncos did make some cuts from a 90-man to an 80-man roster. The most notable name, Khalfani Muhammad. We touched on this yesterday. Khalfani Muhammad, who, I was actually really disappointed that he wasn't really ever given an opportunity to play on the team's actual squad when, his skill set really caters to the system, or the system caters to his skill set, rather when you have a Royce Freeman who's a power back, when this offense really doesn't really have no need for a power back unless you're in a red zone situation. Khalfani Muhammad, who had something that this offense lacked last year, and that was speed. And I see, canceling him out and getting rid of him is very unfortunate. And it's something I want to definitely talk to Cody tomorrow about, because I know he was very high on him, just like, the rest of Broncos country was high on Khalfani Muhammad. He, without a doubt, impressed and, had some eyes popping last couple preseasons.
I know you don't like it when I bring in Madden, but I have to bring in Madden on this one.
Let me hear.
Khalfani Muhammad was so fun to use in Madden. When I play with him on NFL Franchise, I would always see him on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
And he would always be there. No one would ever want to, sign him, or he would always be a free agent. And it's like, well, he has 95 speed. I'm probably going to take him. Put him on a toss, put him on a screenplay. He's gone.
That's where Khalfani Muhammad finds himself now, a free agent, like in Madden, on the waiver wire. Man, come on.
Hey, if I was out there, I'm signing him.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. What is
I like speed.
The
I like
teams
speed.
don't like about Khalfani Muhammad?
Strength,
team is
carrying, ball carry vision.
Because he's about the same size as Lindsey. Lindsey's just a dog in the trenches.
He
will take those
vision
hits
as well. He doesn't have the best ball carry vision. You could be the greatest, fastest running back ever, but if you can't hit the hole, look at Trent Richardson.
Yeah. If you can't hit the hole and you got those bad decision making, yeah, exactly right, Jake. Exactly right. No, Khalfani Muhammad, saddening for Broncos country. And I think this is where, canceling out the preseason, I was actually wanting to at least keep 2 preseason games, so where these guys who still want to prove what they, what teams still feel like they have improved, have that stage for them is, that preseason. But now taking that away, now you're diamonds in the rough. You're not going to find them as frequent as you were before. Now, is this a good idea for the future to cancel the preseason? No, I don't think so. I think, just because we're in the midst of a pandemic and we find ourselves in unfortunate circumstances, yeah, you do what you do. You cancel the preseason. But for future seasons, I think the preseason is something that's still a great opportunity for these Phillip Lindsays, these Chris Harris Jr.'s, your undrafted guys, man, who are still trying to find themselves in the league.
No, seriously, it kills me that the preseason's gone, and not only that, it kills me that they're cutting down the roster COVID's ruining a whole bunch of stuff. One of my favorite bars got shut down. They don't serve happy hour anymore there. I can't get a growler for $7. I can get it for $14 now. And I don't want to spend the extra $7, but I will for Blue Moon. But it kills me. This COVID's killing everything.
Remember more to Blue Moon. You talking about guys drinking. I don't know if you saw on that podcast. I think this is actually what you showed me, man. And this guy, he looked like he was drinking with his emotional reaction, man.
Yeah. Well, and especially for you, because, you know, you're kind of small.
Oh, we're going to go with the size thing now.
You, Pat.
Whoa.
Seriously, I'm sick of your I come the whole way here, take time away from my family to come to do your stupid show. And you're going to continue to disrespect me over. Don't touch me.
Whoa.
Come on. No, get out of here.
Give credit to the Pat McAfee show right there, and that's Pat McAfee getting into a verbal altercation with who is that? Who's his guest? Who is it?
Adam Cole, and he
Adam
is
Cole.
a former WWE fighter. And if you have ever watched Pat McAfee's show, he likes to antagonize his guests, and he likes to kind of get under people's skins, and he's kind of has that personality where he's gonna joke with you. He's like Charles Haley. He's gonna get under your skin.
Now we were talking about, is this real or fake? Now I can see it being real. I can also see it being staged though. You said this guy was a WWE wrestler. He's known for staging stuff. He's known for staging stuff, man. Who knows? Now, hey man, more power to Pat McAfee. If it is fake, it's a world of clout chasing where you want the most attention. But if it's true, Pat McAfee pisses people off the way he does, man.
Hey,
he is
Adam Cole posted on Twitter saying, "I've had the weekend to think about everything, and it's still hard to put into words where to begin."
Could that
First
be part
of all,
of the hoax?
To anyone I offended, I apologize. I apologize because I represent a brand that commands respect, not just because of what we do in this ring, but how we handle ourselves outside the ring. Even though he continued to push my buttons, I still have to keep my composure and act like a professional. I'm embarrassed by my reaction, and I will make sure something like that never happens again. Thank you for the continued support, everyone.
I mean, it's a good TV, though, to go and do that. And then, I mean, he probably knows what he's doing. It makes it more realistic if you go out and make a tweet after it. It makes it seem more real.
When we're talking about it, I gotta love it, man. I gotta love it. I love some Pat McAfee.
Oh, I love Pat McAfee show. I don't watch it religiously or anything. I catch little bits and pieces. Like I'll catch the clips, you know.
Mhm.
I don't like watch
the best
full
one
episodes.
is him with Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk. They do it from 10 to 12.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. My favorite sit down he's ever had was with Marshawn Lynch, and then just him, you know, getting inside or Beast Mode's mind. Real humbling guy, surprisingly. No, man, I don't know. I don't know if this is real. What do you think this is real? This is real. I'm assuming you say yes.
I'm gonna say yes. I love it. I gotta love this stuff, though. I mean, I'm a sucker for this stuff.
Is the guy Adam Cole? Is he a real deal fighter? Is he?
Well, back in the 90s and back in the 2000s, he was. I remember one time I got to see him down at the Pepsi Center, but
I've never heard of the guy. That's why I'm like, who? They said WWE. Like, I don't watch wrestling no more. I did as a kid.
Personally, my favorite was Undertaker, but
Undertaker. Yeah, that was. Who was the good one? Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels for me. Yeah. Hey, you remember the Boogeyman?
I do remember the Boogeyman.
Yo, the Boogeyman and Doink the Clown. Those are like. Imagine like having to do that for work. I would, for the rest of your life, man. I'm sold in. I'm sold in.
I'm sold in on wrestling for the rest of my life.
But then there's a catch to it. You have Vince McMahon as your boss.
A walking meme.
This is a walking meme. Hey, last night NFL Network let out their top 100 list. They've been doing this for the last They started actually on Monday. They're going to be doing this Monday for the rest of the week. Their top 100, their yearly top 100. We're going to critique that when we come back on the next side of the break. Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy.
At Chewy's, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Fully loaded nacho car.
Nacho car?
Yeah, that's right, and it's free. You'll get chips, salsa, queso, taco, meat, and more. And don't forget to pair it with one of the signature margaritas, only at Chewy's. Tex-Mex done right. Must be 21. Find a location near you at chewy's.com. Hurry in, 7 p.m., the trunk closes.
Southwestern Colorado mountains. Whether you're kicking up your feet in the comfy day room or sipping on cocktails down by the river, you're sure to have a great time. Enjoy fishing, hiking, and hunting, all with the comforts of walk-in showers, private balconies overlooking the beautiful Cacharis River and Valley, and breakfast cooked fresh daily by the loving hands of the owner, Galen Smith. If you get hungry in the afternoon or evening, grab a cold one, good company, and grill out on the deck. Or you can come stay at the famous Dog Bar and Grill, just a stone's throw from the B&B. Book your room now at CacharisRiverBnB.com. That's CUCHARAS RiverBnB.com. Cacharis River Bed and Breakfast. Tell them Arthur sent you.
It's back. The $12.99 buy one get one only at Olive Garden. Try our creamy fettuccine Alfredo, hearty spaghetti with meat sauce, or our melty 5-cheese baked ziti. While you're at it, make sure you take a second entree home. With so many choices, how can you go wrong? And don't forget about our endless salads and warm breadsticks. Order online or find one of our convenient locations near you. Olive Garden. When you're here, your family.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man! Live in the now!
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing!
Your summer just got hotter with the $4.99 unlimited buffet at Pizza Hut. That's right, all of your Pizza Hut favorites for only $4.99. Monday through Friday for lunch, and Tuesday night, dive into limitless pizzas, pastas, salads, breadsticks, and desserts. All hot, fresh, and ready for you when you are. So much good food for so little money makes satisfying that Pizza Hut craving so easy. The $4.99 Pizza Hut never-ending buffet, all at a great price and ready for you today. Make it great at Pizza Hut.
Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy on the Go Mile High Network. Right now, Colorado up 3-1 over the Athletics. And between the break, Hilliard hitting a home run. Ramiro Tapia also hit a single. So that's making the game 3-1 now, putting in an additional 2 points. Rockies looking good, man. Hey, 2-1. Try to get the 3-1 on the season. This is the perfect position you want to find yourself. I think the Rockies, they were 3-12 at one point last year. They won their third game at the 15-game mark. So they actually win your third game, maybe by your fourth game. Come on, man. Way better start than last year for sure. Now, before we left, we were talking a little bit about some top 100 that the NFL Network has been releasing throughout the week. And some controversial spots for sure. I've trying to been shying away from watching the actual live feed. I've been waiting and saving, some of my, some of the
your personal favorite players.
Yeah, no, not just that. I've been kind of saving, the videos and everything for the show, so you could get my live reaction. So some guys, I don't even know where they're listed. So if you're listening out there, you might know, the list, but way before me. I'm trying to make it my goal and initiative not to watch the list. So when we come and we do the list ourselves throughout the week this week, I can kind of give you an actual live, genuine reaction.
Yes. So highlights out of the list. First highlight is Ryan Tannehill at 68. He is ahead of Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, Larry Fitzgerald he's old. What was his numbers though? Because Christian Kirk had a lot of that, did a lot in that Arizona Cardinals offense.
Caught half his touchdowns in one game. Christian Kirk did, but Larry Fitzgerald had about 800 yards and about 6 touchdowns.
So 800 yards. See, in what Tannehill, he was on a stretch where he went 23 touchdowns and 6 picks from when Mike Vrabel made that quarterback change from Mariota to Tannehill. The Titans were obviously way better. Tannehill was throwing the ball on a dime. There was some highlights they had in there where, Tannehill, he coming out of college, he just looked like, I would say, kind of like a Josh Allen. A guy who's not going to have a highlight film Lamar Jackson run. He's not going to have a Lamar Jackson highlight run, but he's going to, go for a 20, 25-yard gain if he gets out of the pocket, if the play breaks down. Never the best arm. But over the years, it looks like Ryan Tannehill has improved that accuracy.
Yeah, he has improved the accuracy. It also could help that he has Derrick Henry in 8 of the last 10 games, rushing for 100 yards in 8 of those.
Yeah, I mean,
so that could help you.
And yeah, for sure. When you have a freight train like that, it definitely opens up the pass game for sure.
It really does. Another very interesting one is Harrison Smith at 64. How is he not a top 50 player? Harrison Smith not a top 50 player anymore? Who's
better, Harrison Smith or Tyrann Mathieu? Now I know they have Tyrann Mathieu highly ranked, but lists like these, we all know, popularity contest. Let's not act like they're not. But who, in your honest opinion, is better, Harrison Smith or Tyrann Mathieu? Who are you taking?
Well, it depends. What do you ask me for? Like, what do you want the safety to do? Like, if you want me to get a run support safety and a safety that could do everything, I'm going to get Tyrann Mathieu.
I want the best available player.
But if I want someone that's going to be my zone, if I want someone to play my deep third, I'm going to get Harrison Smith. Personally, for my defense, when I want to run, I'm getting Tyrann Mathieu. I can put him at every position. You can put him at corner. You can put him at safety. You can put him at free safety. You can put him at you can put him at outside linebacker and blitz him.
And that's kind of where I'm hitting with, too. Harrison Smith, he's Harry Hitman. He's more of a run support safety, I see. He can play the zone, but more of a run safety. He's a hybrid. Looks like a linebacker out there. He
had a top 5 zone rating last year in Pro Football Focus.
Yeah. Hey, that Pro Football Focus, man, I don't know how they critique their stats, man, but sometimes it's very foolish. Very foolish.
So is it Pro Football Focus or Pro Football Foolish?
Yeah, I think it's that one.
It's the latter?
Foolish.
It's the latter.
Pro Football Foolish. That's and anytime you cite anything you got from that, that's what you got to say now. Pro Football Foolish. Pro Football Foolish. No, Tyrann Mathieu, I know he got into 39, ranked 39 on the list, and I think he was listed tonight, so on tonight's new list.
Yeah, we'll be discussing that tomorrow. Let's actually be back on track of where we were at.
Oh.
So another very interesting guy on this list is Kirk Cousins at 58. Kirk Cousins got put at 58 on this list.
Yeah.
He is ahead of players like Logan Ryan,
Nah.
Odell Beckham.
As long as he ain't higher than Tyrann Mathieu.
As long as he ain't higher than Tyrann Mathieu.
No,
David Bakhtiari, guy out of CU. Fred Warner. These are a lot of good players, and the Kirk Cousins is rated higher than these players. I don't see how Kirk Cousins is even a top 60 player. We all see what he can do on primetime. We all see what he can do in Washington. We all see what he can do in Minnesota. They won last year with Dalvin Cook. When Dalvin Cook went down last year, they started to struggle. In the playoffs, Dalvin Cook did score 2 touchdowns in that game. Kirk Cousins did score the game-winning touchdown, but Dalvin Cook still performed in that game. I don't see how Kirk Cousins is a top quarterback or a top 100 player.
I can see the top 100. I mean, they weren't really. I'm going to say top. I would say like 90-ish, if that. If you got Jimmy Garoppolo in there, then you put then Kirk Cousins better be in there because they're pretty much damn well the same player.
So speaking of, I'll get there. Another very interesting player is Amari Cooper at 49.
Yeah, that's what's interesting about it.
I wouldn't put him in. I'd put him in the.
You wouldn't put him top 50?
I'd put him in the top 60,
What?
top 70.
Come on, man. If Dak wasn't such a liability, and didn't have his own confidence, hurt himself, and then Cooper would be out there having 90 catch seasons.
Cooper also falls off. He plays very phenomenal in home games, and he plays horrible in away games.
Yeah.
He sometimes has games where he just doesn't show up.
The thing I think, though, with Cooper, though, is, every great receiver knows how to react to double coverage. I don't care who you are. Amari Cooper, when you double coverage him, man, he just that's the answer to him. All you gotta do is just double cover him, man. And Dak Prescott, he's not the best decision maker. And I wouldn't say he's not the best decision maker, but he's very conservative, almost sometimes too conservative. To where he's not going to throw an interception or whatnot, but he's going to throw something in the flat, and then now, you lost 3 yards.
It's very interesting, honestly. He can't win one-on-ones when he's playing against a solidified corner. That's what I'm saying. He can't win his one-on-ones when he's playing against a solidified number one. When he was playing against Tre'Davious White, couldn't win. When he was playing against Stephon Gilmore, couldn't win his matchups. But those are top echelon corners. If you're going to be a top receiver, to me, you got to beat the top corners. You could be the man, you got to beat the man.
And Jerry Jones, what he's doing, he's just trying to live with the good old days. He's trying to find his modern day triplets. And right now, they haven't really done anything. I mean, since they've gotten Dak and Zeke in that first year. So Amari Cooper, since they've had Amari Cooper, all they've done is what? They went to the playoffs against the Rams, lost against the Rams. Haven't really done much, man. I don't know if, it's time to break up the band in Dallas or not, but hey, man.
They're in win now mode. They're in win now mode. So real
man, go ahead.
So real quick, Jimmy Garoppolo got 43, and that is telling that Jimmy Garoppolo is a top 50 player. Is Jimmy Garoppolo a top 50 player?
Not better than Tyrann Mathieu.
Not better than Tyrann Mathieu? Very fair enough.
No, he ain't better than, I think.
J.J. Watt? Is he better than J.J. Watt?
He's not better than 100 players in the league.
He's not better than 100 players in the league.
No, man.
It's a popularity contest, like we're saying. But we're still going to talk about it.
We're still going to talk about it. Hey, man, coming up, we're going to close this show with a little bit of lighter note. We're talking about a little bit of the musical chairs. Stay tuned, man. Don't lose your seat. Still. Damn, there.
5% off on apparel, footwear, and gear, and more. With free shipping of online orders over $49, you can't beat these deals. Dick'sSportingGoods.com has your fitness set up for the new year. That was online at Dick'sSportingGoods.com. Stop by.
Your summer just got hotter with the $4.99 unlimited buffet at Pizza Hut. That's right, all of your Pizza Hut favorites for only $4.99. Monday through Friday for lunch, and Tuesday night, dive into limitless pizzas, pastas, salads, breadsticks, and desserts. All hot, fresh, and ready for you when you are. So much good food for so little money makes satisfying that Pizza Hut craving so easy. The $4.99 Pizza Hut never-ending buffet, all at a great price and ready for you today. Make it great at Pizza Hut. It's back. The $12.99 buy one, get one, only at Olive Garden. Try our creamy fettuccine Alfredo, hearty spaghetti with meat sauce, or our melty 5-cheese baked ziti. While you're at it, make sure you take a second entree home. With so many choices, how can you go wrong? And don't forget about our endless salads and warm breadsticks. Order online or find one of our convenient locations near you. Olive Garden. When you're here, your family.
Come on in to the Cucharas River Bed and Breakfast for an inviting and relaxing retreat in the southwestern Colorado Mountains. Whether you're kicking up your feet in the comfy day room or sipping
comforts of walk-in showers, private balconies overlooking the beautiful Cacharis River and Valley, and breakfast cooked fresh daily by the loving hands of the owner, Galen Smith. If you get hungry in the afternoon or evening, grab a cold one, good company, and grill out on the deck. Or you can come stay at the famous Dog Bar and Grill, just a stone's throw from the B&B. Book your room now at CacharisRiverBnB.com. That's CUCHARAS RiverBnB.com. Cacharis River Bed and Breakfast. Tell them Arthur sent you.
There's a side of aloha with every meal at L&L Hawaiian Barbecue. A unique style of Hawaiian place with 2 scoops of rice and a creamy macaroni salad. Tastes delicious for the whole family. Join our ohana or come party with catering and get the goods like recipe books, hats, and gift cards. Come to our 2 convenient locations in Aurora or one in the Springs. Or you can order online at HawaiianBarbecue.com. L&L Hawaiian Barbecue.
And Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy is on the GoMileHigh.com, part of the Be On Air Network. You can catch us 8 to 9, Monday through Thursday. If you want to come see us, come live, look in on the show. We're on the Colorado Media Campus, located in Belmont, Colorado. Oh, Shaggy. The
Don't bring
outro.
any COVID. Just don't bring any COVID.
Yeah, don't bring any COVID. Now just stay 6 feet away from the glass. We don't need.
Yeah, bring some
any
hand
of that.
sanitizer. And if you don't wear your mask, you can't come in.
Oh, well.
Oh,
Wonderful, wonderful music, outro music you found. You got them on deck. No, you can't have anything copyrighted, so you had to get creative.
Oh, that's all right, man. We can get creative over here.
Get creative all day, man. Hey, real quick before you go, best rapper athlete.
Best rapper athlete. We were talking about this last week, man. I got to go with Dwayne Bowe, man. I got to go with my man Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. And if Dwayne Bowe was an NFL player, he would probably be a roadie for 3-6 Mafia.
Maybe a roadie for 3-6 Mafia. Who would be another great one?
I'll give you one that's not great. Antonio Brown. How about that? Do we have any sound on Antonio Brown's music, or is that copyright?
We're going to get some sound tomorrow. We're going to play some sound tomorrow. We will be reacting to that tomorrow.
Bro, it is, I don't know, like, it sounds, to be honest with you, it sounds like music Antonio Brown would make.
It's CTE music.
You know,
you could thank Vontez Perfect for it.
I don't want to go that far on the guy.
I want to go that far on the guy. Tom Brady could have had 7 Super Bowl rings if it wasn't for AB leaving.
That's all you care about. You don't even care about the guy's well-being if he's crazy and not. Just the 7 ring, man. Just
winning isn't everything. Winning is everything.
You
it's
really
the only thing.
You really think AB would have had that much of a difference? I doubt it.
Oh yeah.
I doubt
Towards
it.
the end of the season, there was no receivers.
I doubt
out
it.
there.
I still doubt Brady. Brady wasn't gonna outplay Mahomes. He wasn't gonna beat Mahomes in the shootout this year. And I'm pretty sure if he finds himself in the position against Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he's not gonna win the shootout.
The game that they played in New England against Mahomes, they were down 4th and goal, 5-yard line, able to score, and they throw to Edelman, and Edelman was double covered. Can't tell me if you have AB, Edelman, and as well as.
Are you talking about the AFC Championship game?
No. I'm talking about this year in 2019.
I was gonna say, I mean, Brady
won that one.
If
but
you want to think about it, though, in the AFC Championship game, if is it D4 who jumps the line? I think it's D4 jumps the line. If D4 doesn't go off sides, the Chiefs are likely back-to-back Super Bowl champions because they might have won last year's ring.
They
if
They were running
doesn't.
a lot of pick plays. You know what's weird? The refs weren't calling that either. Like that Sammy Watkins catch. Ooh.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
No, but who was your candidate for best rap athlete? Dwayne Bowe.
Dwayne Bowe.
What's your worst one? Who's your worst one?
What? I don't want to pick the same as you, man. I gotta pick. I'm gonna go Le'Veon Bell is the worst one.
Nah, Le'Veon Bell actually could split. I think he has some bars.
He has some bad songs too.
He has some bars. I know there was one video with Lil Durk.
I'm glad that you brought that up. That is a great song. That's his one good song.
He looked like he was like a a figurine. Like he looked like a stiff toy. Like, bro, he looked like man. You know the Thing? That's what he looked like.
His
he
hair
looked
was
like
fucked
the
up
Thing.
in that video, bro. Oh, messed up in that video. But it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. But anyway, getting into it, who would you say out of the NBA? Who would you say is the worst NBA player, and who would you say, or the worst NBA rapper, and who would you say is the best NBA rapper? Because for me, let's go a retired guy. Let's go Shaq. I'm saying he's the best one, and I know that's not true.
Hey, back in the 90s, Shaq had bars. Shaq had bars, bro.
He has 2 diss songs against Dame Dallas.
You like Dame Dollar? Yo,
Dame?
Shaq went like straight old school 90s dude.
Well, you can't tell me that wasn't cool, though. It wasn't good.
He pulled out the notepad.
He spit bars for the second one, though.
Nah.
He spit bars.
Shaq, you need to treat your rap career like your basketball career and just retire, bro. It's ain't. I know Shaq's known for staying in the league for a long time. He shouldn't be rapping for that long, man. It's time for jazz, Shaq. It's time for jazz. It's time for jazz, man. No, right now, who would you like? I don't know. You got to put this in the conversation. Who is like the artist that you think is the most related for the culture you see with athletes a lot? You see athletes always bumping that music.
I don't like him, but it's Post Malone. I see Post Malone always getting played on all these artists. But if you think about it,
you see Post Malone at games, though? I was going to bring it to my second part of the question. Who do you see who's like actually interacting with the
Post Malone's
sports?
A big Dallas Cowboys fan.
I heard that.
I was about to say. Do you remember when the Cowboys played against the Rams in 2018 when Dak Prescott went out there?
Yeah.
YG and Post Malone were at that game together, and YG was posting on like a whole bunch of stuff on Instagram, giving him crap.
Now this is not a musician, but I think Jack Nicholson. He's always related with the Lakers, or season ticket holder, right there. Season ticket holder with the Lakers, man.
Even though he didn't go to his 80-point game, he said his daughters went to that game and got to experience that.
Bum.
Bum. He had to go watch it.
Anytime you have season tickets and you miss the best scoring outing by Kobe Bryant, you're a bum.
Yeah.
I don't care how much those season tickets cost, bum. No, you always see Jay-Z in the games. Jay-Z courtside with Beyonce.
But Jay-Z's at all the games, though. Haven't you noticed
Isn't he like a minority owner of the Nets?
I think he is. He is. Or Meek Mill. You see Meek Mill at the games all the time. You see Meek Mill at the Philadelphia
one of my
games.
favorite rappers. Hey, what's your favorite Meek Mill song?
Favorite Meek Mill song? That is a hard one. I like Heaven or Hell. Like Lord Knows. That's a hard one. There's a lot of good songs. He has that one good song with Young Thug, and he has another good one with Lil Uzi off of Dream Chasers 4. Those two songs, I like those two. I can't remember. I think it's Rockstar with Lil Uzi, and there's another one I like. I can't remember.
What I love about Meek Mill is they've been able to, he's had a lot of interaction with, the sports world as the last couple of years, especially with,
Heck, he's friends with Robert Kraft.
Yeah, and, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, or when the Sixers, as of late, Sixers, who were suffering in turmoil for about 4 to 5 years, is one of the worst franchises. So I think they actually had a couple year span of where they have the worst win percentage in NBA history. And now where they're winning, now you see Meek Mill is getting a lot more exposure to where I think the sports world is getting more familiar with him and who Meek Mill is, not just as an artist. And I think that's what is so great about, I think, out of all sports, the NBA is it's like a reality show, bro. It's
Well, also when you think about it though, the NBA, they're right by fans are literally right by the players.
You can
fans,
hear everything that's going on.
Fans can touch the players. I mean, there's that one
I wouldn't
video.
want to touch them right now.
Well, I'm just saying,
especially Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, I ain't no Donovan Mitchell. No, Russell Westbrook. Well, that brings up. Remember that one Nuggets fan that got into Russell Westbrook's face and was screaming Westbrook's face? It's you still want to do that now with COVID?
Oh yeah, yeah. That guy was dumb though. That was, I'm a passionate fan. I'm not an ignorant fan. It's something.
Get enough beer in me, I'll shriek though.
Oh yeah. Without question. No. Well, this is Staxxx and Shaggy closing out our last segment of the night, talking a little bit of music and sports, just talking about a little bit of everything right now, closing out with more of a laid-back, conversational closeout, man. It's been wonderful. Talked a little bit of Nuggets, the Miami outbreak, but tomorrow stay tuned as we got Cody Rourke, NFL insider and Broncos analyst, on tomorrow's show around 8:20 on our second segment. Stay tuned. Shaggy, I want to thank you for another show tonight. As Staxxx will be closing out, we appreciate for all of you tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see y'all tomorrow. God bless.